It started on a Tuesday. Michael, a pharmacist, had been home with Ethan for 9 weeks when Bernese, the family's Bernese Mountain Dog, began to change. Not dramatically, not in a way that made anyone reach for the phone immediately or say something is wrong out loud. Just quietly, the way that real problems begin, at the edge of ordinary life, in a place where nobody is paying close attention. The Bernese Mountain Dog pushed between the toddler and the back door repeatedly. That was how it started. Michael noticed it on the 3rd day. By the 5th day, Jennifer had noticed it too. They talked about it over dinner while Ethan slept in the next room, and they came to a reasonable conclusion. 3 people told them the animal was being possessive. It made sense. It fit the pattern. They were not careless people. They were careful, attentive parents who had read the parenting books and baby-proofed the house and knew when to call the pediatrician and when to wait. They waited. On the 8th day, the behavior escalated. What had been intermittent became constant. The Bernese Mountain Dog stopped sleeping through the night. Michael would find he standing in the hallway at 2 a.m, not pacing, not whining, just standing, facing Ethan's door. Still, waiting for something that Michael could not identify. She told Jennifer she was starting to feel uneasy. He said he understood, but that they should give it another few days. They gave it 2 more days. On the 10th night, the Bernese Mountain Dog did something it had never done before, not once in the years they had owned he. He pressed his entire weight against Ethan's bedroom door from the inside. When Michael opened the door at 3 a.m., she found the animal standing over Ethan's small form, not touching, just positioned, deliberate. Certain. Michael stood in the doorway for 4 seconds. Then she turned on the light. What she saw made her reach for her phone before she had fully processed what she was looking at. The details will not be repeated here because they belong to the family and to Ethan's medical file. What matters is that emergency services arrived within 9 minutes. What matters is that the on-call physician later told Michael, standing in a hospital corridor while monitors beeped steadily from the room behind her, that the paramedics said another 20 minutes would have changed everything. The doctor said one more thing. She said, "Whatever your animal was doing, it was right." The cause turned out to be parents' epileptic seizure incoming. Silent. Invisible to any human sense, the kind of thing that builds without announcement and resolves without mercy if nothing intervenes. The Bernese Mountain Dog had been detecting it, not learning it, not being trained for it, simply detecting it, the way animals detect things that exist beneath the threshold of human awareness. In the chemical signature of breath, in the micro-vibrations of a building, in the frequencies of air that carry information we have given up the ability to read. Michael sat in the hospital for 6 hours. She sat with his hands in his lap and thought about the 9 days she had watched the Bernese Mountain Dog behave strangely and had found a reasonable explanation every single time. She thought about 3 people told them the animal was being possessive. She thought about how certain she had been. She had been wrong. Jennifer arrived at the hospital at 4 a.m. They didn't talk much. They sat together in the corridor and watched the clock and waited for the physician to come back out and give them news they could carry home. The news was good. Ethan recovered fully. The treatment was straightforward once the cause was identified. The attending pediatrician used the word fortunate twice in a single sentence, which is not something physicians do unless they mean it. When they brought Ethan home, 3 days later, the Bernese Mountain Dog was waiting at the front door. Not excited, not performative, just there, in the way that a thing is there when it has been waiting because it knew to wait. Michael knelt on the floor. She put his arms around the animal's neck. She didn't say anything out loud. Some things don't need to be said. The Bernese Mountain Dog has slept in Ethan's room every night since. Michael checks in each morning and finds them in the same configuration. The animal positioned at the foot of the small bed, watching the door, doing what animals do when they have accepted the job of watching over someone who cannot watch over themselves. If you have ever dismissed a pet's strange behavior as anxiety or jealousy or stress, stop. Watch it more carefully. Ask a different question. The answer you find might be one you needed a long time before you thought to look for it. The moment of recognition, when the wrong belief collapses and the truth takes its place, is not a comfortable moment. It is not the warm feeling that the videos suggest. It is closer to vertigo. The floor that was solid becomes the thing you were wrong about, and you have to find your footing all over again. But this family found it. They found it because they still had time. They still had each other, and they still had the animal who had never once wavered in what it was trying to say. Some messages take 10 days to receive. This one arrived just in time. The research on animal detection continues to expand. Scientists documenting cases like this, one have found that the olfactory and auditory sensitivity of domesticated animals, particularly dogs, extends into ranges that human instruments are still being designed to measure. What the animal in this story was detecting existed. It was real. The animal was not confused, not anxious, not acting out. It was doing the most important work it would ever do in the only language it had, hoping someone would understand. This family did, just in time.